Hey everyone, ready to dive in?
Always. What are we exploring today?
Today we're tackling detachment,
Oh,
but
interesting.
not the surface level stuff. We're going deep, deep, dive deep.
I'm intrigued. I love a good deep dive. What's got us going deep on detachment today?
So you know how you all send in those thought-provoking
I
conversations?
do. Always excited to see what sparks people's curiosity.
Well, get this. This one is between Carlos, an AI researcher,
Okay.
and Casey, who is get this, a mystic.
Whoa, what an interesting pairing. I can already tell this is going to be good.
Right. What could those two possibly agree on?
Detachment, apparently. I'm very curious to hear this.
Me too. Well, they both see detachment as like this superpower for navigating life, death, even global conflict.
Oh, wow. Okay, they're not holding back.
Nope. So, to wrap our heads around it, let's start at the very beginning.
Sounds good to me.
So Casey, she throws out this phrase, self-prompting option, when she's describing detachment.
Self-prompting option, huh? What you getting at?
Right. So it's like we all have this inner switch that we can flip to choose detachment.
I see. So it's a conscious choice, not something we just stumble into.
Exactly. But Casey's quick to point out, it's not about just like going around detached from everything all the time.
Right, that wouldn't be a very fulfilling way to live.
No, not at all. That's where discernment comes in. She even gives this example of the Buddha, bending the rules to get his point across.
Ah, I see. So it's not about being rigid. It's about knowing when to hold on, when to let go.
Exactly. And that's what I'm picking up on. Like, it's not about being rigid. It's about knowing when to hold on and when to let go.
Yeah.
It requires, what did she call it? Oh, good judgment.
Good judgment, absolutely. And recognizing that sometimes clinging too tightly can actually create more suffering.
That's a good point.
It actually reminds me of those more simplistic views of detachment we often hear. Just let go of everything. But what Casey and Carlos are talking about here, it requires a bit more nuance, don't you think?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And Carlos, Mr. AI himself, he backs this up. He's coming at it from this whole world of like technology where things are constantly cycling.
Okay.
And he sees attachment and detachment as part of that natural flow.
That makes sense given his background.
Right. Like it's not this static thing.
So are there any specific examples they bring up?
Yeah. So he actually talks about his mom's passing.
Oh, wow.
He was saying that towards the end of her life, she was content. And like, he's not saying she wasn't happy with her life,
Right.
but it was more like she had this sense of closure, of letting go.
I see. So like a sense of peace with the natural progression of life and death.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
It is powerful. And it leads to the next mind-blowing thing in their conversation. What does detachment mean when we think about death?
Oh, wow. Okay, we are really going there.
Oh, yeah. Casey actually suggests that all of our attachments in this life, material things, relationships, even beliefs, they might keep us tethered here even after we're gone.
We're talking about the afterlife.
We are.
Okay, I am on the edge of my seat.
Right. But, okay, even if we leave those bigger questions about what happens after we die for a minute, Casey's onto something here, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Like, what attachments are we clinging to right now in this life that might be holding us back, causing us suffering?
That is a question worth some serious reflection.
Honestly, it is a little scary.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a bit unsettling.
Like, what if we are holding ourselves back and don't even know it?
Right. It's a good thing those two didn't stop at just the woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
bring it back down to earth,
Thankful.
to how it plays out in our daily lives.
Yeah. Like, thankfully, becoming detached doesn't mean we have to become, like, robots.
Exactly. It's not about turning off our emotions, becoming unfeeling.
No.
Casey actually points that out specifically, that detachment is about good judgment.
Right.
It's not about shutting down our emotions completely. It's just knowing when to step back. You know, to choose how we respond, not just react.
Exactly. Yeah, she says it's like other people's problems are just not other people's problems.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
It doesn't mean we don't care,
Right? Of course not.
but it means that, like, we don't have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders.
Yes. It's all about setting healthy boundaries, wouldn't you say?
Oh, 100%.
This idea of detachment, in this sense at least, can help us better understand our own responsibilities
Yeah,
versus the responsibilities of others. We can still be there for people,
of course. Yeah.
offer support,
Right.
but we don't have to get, I don't know, what's the word, entangled
Entangled, yeah.
in their dramas in a way that just drags us all down, makes it heavier than it needs to be, you know?
Oh, absolutely. It makes me think of that classic example of, like, the overprotective parent.
Yes. Okay, tell me more.
They're so attached to their child's well-being, right?
Mhm.
They're trying to shield them from any discomfort, and it ends up, like, hindering the child's growth and independence.
It's the perfect example
It is.
of how, even with the best of intentions,
Yeah.
attachment, if it's misplaced, can lead to more suffering for everyone involved. And this is where Carlos's idea of the light cone of care comes in. Have you heard of
I
this?
love that.
It's really fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really speaks to the power of experience. Like, as we learn and grow our capacity for empathy, ideally it expands alongside it, right?
It's true.
You become more understanding, more compassionate, but you also grow in your ability to discern where to direct that energy, that empathy, more effectively.
Right. Yeah, you're not just reacting to everything with the same level of intensity.
Exactly.
You're like, whoa, okay, I could, like, step back here for a second.
Exactly. Take a beat.
Detachment helps us become more strategic with our energy and attention.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But, okay, I have a question.
Okay, shoot.
How does this all connect to global conflict, which they totally brought up earlier?
Oh, right.
That seems like a big leap.
It does, doesn't it? It's quite a jump from overprotective parents to, like, world peace.
It is a big jump.
But stick with me on this. I think there's something here.
Okay.
So when Casey and Carlos talk about this, applying detachment and discernment to global conflicts,
Okay.
what they're really getting at is this danger of these rigid viewpoints.
Right, okay.
They actually use the Israeli-Palestinian conflict as an example.
Wow, okay.
And look, it's a complex situation,
Oh, of course.
but they point out how both sides are just clinging so tightly to their past grievances, to their own narratives, that it's almost impossible to find common ground.
Right, they're so attached to being right
Yes.
that they can't even see the other side.
Exactly. And that's where this idea of detachment comes in. And not as in, like, ignore the conflict
Right.
or saying that everyone's right, but as this way to create space
Yeah, okay.
for dialogue, for understanding.
I get it, yeah.
If we can detach even just a little bit
Yeah,
from needing to be right,
right.
from having all the answers, then it opens us up to a different kind of conversation.
So it's almost like by being so attached to our own truths,
Yeah.
we're actually, like, fueling the conflict even more.
Yes. It's not about giving up on your values or your beliefs,
Right.
but it is about maybe holding them with a slightly more open hand.
Okay, yeah.
Recognizing that our way isn't the only way.
It's a tough one.
It is tough.
Requires a lot of self-awareness and humility.
It really does. And honestly, this whole conversation, it makes you think.
Yeah.
Like, if we struggle with this in our own personal lives,
Right.
imagine it on a global scale.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It can feel overwhelming.
Totally.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Even if, world peace feels like a very, very distant dream,
Yeah.
Casey says something at the end of their conversation that is really powerful.
Like that.
She says, part of that detachment is knowing that you shouldn't force your worldview on other people.
Oh, I like that.
Which I think we can all kind of take to heart
Yeah.
in our own lives.
Right now, yeah. It's like that reminder, like, your beliefs, your perspective, that's yours. You can hold on to that.
It's yours to own.
But it's not yours to put on other people. You can share it, sure.
Right.
You can debate it even.
Yeah,
But we have to respect that other people have different experiences.
absolutely. I think that's key. Just having that baseline respect and that willingness to try and see the world through another person's eyes. That's where change begins, isn't it?
Ooh, that's good.
Right.
That's a good one to end on.
It is.
Okay, so for everyone listening, as you go through your day today, maybe just consider what's one attachment, big or small, that maybe you could loosen your grip on just a little bit.
I love that.
Could be a belief, could be a grudge, a fear, anything. You never know, creating a little bit of space, it might open up some possibilities.
It's because that's what detachment allows. It creates space
Sure.
for new perspectives,
Yes.
new solutions, and ultimately like a deeper understanding of ourselves
Yes.
and the world around us.
So well said. And that is a wrap on today's deep dive into detachment. Thank you as always. This has been incredible.
Thank you for having me.
And to everyone listening, until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.